Gingerbread and hot cocoa themed decor are not new when it comes to Christmas. However, this year it seems to be extra popular. And so today I am sharing a ton of super adorable and festive Dollar Tree DIYs to help you get ready for Christmas. This is Whiskey and Whit. My name is Whitney, and a huge hello to my whiskey craft buddies who come back week after week to DIY with me. If you're not already a craft buddy, no worries, just hit subscribe down below so you can DIY along with us. A huge thank you to Warby Parker for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into the first project.
This project is so quick and easy, anyone can do it. Grab a Dollar Tree wood round and cover it with nutmeg brown paint. Mine exploded, so I had to scoop it back in. Fun times. But once it was dry, I did two cheeks, so two rough circles with some red paint, and then I did it really light and buffed it in with my finger to make the cheeks of what's going to be our gingerbread lady. Then to draw on the face, you're going to do two ovals for the eyes, add some eyelashes in the top corners, add a fun little mouth with two little squiggles, a red circle for a nose, and then use a paint marker or paintbrush to add two white pieces to the cheeks and then the eyes as well. I added a squiggle around the outside as well as a little line to the nose and let that dry. Then I'm going to make a pile ribbon. I like to call them cluster or messy ribbons as well. I'm cutting out some burlap, cutting that in half. I'm cutting some wide ribbon in half as well. I just feel like the sizing works better for this sign. And then I'm also using some of this buffalo check ribbon from Dollar Tree. Once I get it all laid out kind of in an X and T pattern, I'm just scrunching it and tying the center and hot gluing it to the top left of my sign along with a cute little snowflake. Now I plan to use this in my dining room, but if you're planning on putting this on a front door where it gets a lot of sunlight, you can use Dollar Tree super glue to hook down both the snowflake as well as the ribbon. But this is super quick and easy. It would also be fun with kids and a great festive piece. This next one starts with a free supply, which is a cardboard box, and these are so easy to find this year, especially with all the holiday ordering. Starting by getting a smaller piece of my box cut off that I can work with. I'm starting by sketching a variety of different sizes of houses so I can cut them out, and I'm just using regular scissors. You just want to make sure that they're sharp. I did a variety of different sizes, but you can do all the same if you'd rather do that. And then I'm using my favorite paint marker from Amazon. I will link it down below. The ones you see me use today are those, and I love them. And then I just pulled up some images on Pinterest to draw a variety of different houses. Then I decided to use this Hobby Lobby garland that I got for $2.50 because their fall is on super sale right now, and I liked the unfinished wood color. But if you have beads on hand, if you want to do pom-poms, if you want to do tassels, you can do whatever you're feeling here. You can add some color as well. I used my dowel needle to string up two beads in between each house, and I did a variety of sizes along the way. Now, if you drew your houses in the right direction with your corrugated cardboard, you should be able to slide it right through. I wasn't paying attention when I cut them, so I had to kind of power it through, but it ended up working with my dowel needle, which I will link down below. It's a must-have for garlands for me. I made this specifically for this area above our buffet in the dining room. This is our new floating shelf, and while it's not decorated, I can see it coming together, and I am so excited to share the reveal with you shortly. I had a lot of scrap pieces left over from that garland, so I decided to cut some small pieces from that, these cute little houses, and draw on them the same way. Using that dowel needle, I strung it up with some of those remaining beads, and this is going to be so cute for tiered trays or just to add some pizzazz to any area in my gingerbread setup. Cardboard is so versatile, so cheap, and I love DIYing with it. Every time I see a photo of a cute setup of a gingerbread theme, they have these marshmallows with chocolate on a stick. So we're going to make them, and you can find Model Magic at Dollar Tree. So keep your eyes peeled in the kids' crafts section. I used this big bag that I got in a multi-pack from Amazon because I'm making a lot of these for a craft show coming up, but you can definitely get it at Dollar Tree. We're going to start by taking our Model Magic and shaping it into the what looks like a marshmallow shape, and take some Dollar Tree dowel rods. You could also use bamboo skewers and put it up through the bottom so it dries like that. I let them dry overnight just so they could firm up. They're going to be spongy, but they're not going to be as malleable as they were. Then I'm taking this tulip paint that is similar to the white faux icing that I use on gingerbread houses, and I'm just flooding the top of it and pounding it onto the table. That's going to create these super realistic drips of faux chocolate, and it turned out so good. My friend Courtney over at Creative on the Cheap also does faux chocolate, but she uses hot glue. So I will link her channel down below. Be sure to check out her gingerbread DIYs too. They are so adorable. But here's another option of how you can do the chocolate. Another option for marshmallows is using felt, and I created these cute little marshmallows with a unlikely supply. That is toilet paper rolls. I've been collecting these because I had a thought that maybe I would need them for Christmas DIYs, and I was right. So I cut it in half, and then I'm cutting a strip of felt to wrap around the outside of my piece. You also want to make sure you have enough on either end because we're going to cut some tabs here in a second to fully hook it to the toilet paper roll. I just added glue with my precision glue gun all the way around the outside, and then I cut some tabs around the outside so that I could add some glue and fold them in. That's going to give you a nice finished edge. Then to close off our marshmallow, we're going to add some hot glue to the bottom and press it directly down on some scrap felt. Let it cool and then trim it. It makes it a lot easier than having to trace and cut it correctly to then get it to stick. So just add the glue, put it down, and then trim it. We're going to repeat the same step but on the top so that we have a full closed marshmallow. And then you can be done if you want just some regular marshmallows. These are nice to throw into vignettes. They look nice and fluffy. They're kind of a little bit oversized, which I like. It goes with the whimsy vibe of this setup. And I think they are super adorable, quick and easy to do. This could also be a really fun DIY with kiddos. I think I might make some more of these so Finn and I can have a marshmallow snowball fight when it gets too cold to go outside here in Illinois. Now another take on those is to create little snowman marshmallows. So I took a paint marker and added a face as well as a little strip of orange felt for a nose. I hot glued that on and then I went back in with that tulip paint to add some faux chocolate on the top. And just like those marshmallows before, I'm going to add it around, kind of get the drips where I want them started and then tap it on the table. So then that way it gives me some really fun drips. These would make a great addition to any tiered tray or throw them in a little like ramekin dish for some fun addition to your hot cocoa bar. Super cute and I love them.
As the year wraps up, I find my to-do list getting filled with all the things that I have pushed off all year long, like going to checkups, doing things with the car, and also glasses and eye exams. Well, if that sounds like you, today's sponsor, Warby Parker, can definitely help you. Warby Parker offers everything you need for happier eyes: eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. And you can shop with them online or in one of their stores. I love my Warby Parker glasses with added blue light blocking lenses to improve my sleep by offsetting the time I spend on the computer creating content for you. Now the best part is I did everything from selecting the frame options, trying them on, and ordering my pair all at home with their free at-home try-on program. I took a quick quiz about my face shape and my overall style. I picked 5 from their suggestions, and then I tried them on at home on my schedule. I wore them during everyday tasks to really test them out. One of my favorite things about the process is trying out styles outside of my comfort zone to see how they will fit me, like these Welty frames and these lighter Amelia ones. They want you to truly love your glasses, so you aren't obligated to buy after you do the try-on, but if you find one that you love, you can head back to the website and custom order it with your unique prescription. Warby Parker glasses start at $95, and that includes prescription lenses, plus they offer 15% off when you purchase 2 or more pairs of prescription eyeglasses or sunglasses, and they also do a 15% off your first contacts order. And for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker will donate a pair to someone in need through their Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program, which I love. If this sounds good to you, try Warby Parker's free at-home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days, and there is no obligation to buy. Ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/whiskeyandwit. Now let's get back into the DIYs.
Now, as I was making those, I realized they kind of looked like mugs, but without the handle. So I decided to do the same thing, but with some colored felt and then add handles. So here I'm doing the same thing I did before with the marshmallows, just pushing the tabs in. I took one of these styrofoam balls from Dollar Tree and glued it on the inside. Now I had some leftover really fluffy yarn from these Pottery Barn dupe pillows I recently did. I will link that video if you missed it, but I used some scrap of that yarn to wrap it around the top and give it some faux whipped cream. I think this works a lot easier for ornaments than the spackling. It obviously doesn't look like real whipped cream like the spackling does, but I like the fluffy whimsy of this, so I thought I would try it this year versus the spackling that I did last year. Then to make your handle, just grab some scrap felt, roll up a strip like this, glue it so it stays, trim it, and then I'm finding the seam on my cup and gluing the handle down. I had to hold it for probably 20 seconds for each piece, but once it did, it stayed perfectly, and these were so cute. My last step was to add an embellishment, so I painted these little snowflakes from Dollar Tree white and added them to the center of my little mug, and these were good to go. I made a bunch of these so that I could put them on the tree in my dining room for my hot cocoa / gingerbread room, and I am so excited. You can add a hanger to the back, but I just set them on the branch and it worked out perfectly. Couple other ideas for the coffee mugs. I made this latte just by dusting the top of the white felt with some nutmeg brown. I also added some brown felt and some melted chocolate to these, and then used some more of that Model Magic to make some teeny little marshmallows. And then once they dried overnight, hot glued them to the top, and they just are so cute. So they're great for shelf sitters, great for tiered trays. You could do whatever colors you're feeling. And I also decided to do some green with snowflakes as well as some off-white, so then that way I could keep these out for winter decor rather than just Christmas. I was so happy with how that first cardboard garland turned out, I decided to make another one. So I cut some rectangles and then I used my paint marker in white to create some little envelopes. I did the same thing with some red paint because I don't have red paint markers. I should get those, but it is what it is. The paint worked just fine with a little detailed brush. And then while those were drying, I took some of these gingerbread wood shapes from Dollar Tree and painted them nutmeg brown. Once everything was dry, I took some hot glue and stuck it on just like it was a little stamp or a sticker closing up a Christmas gram. I used that paint marker to add some pizzazz to my gingerbread men and put those to the side. Then I took a mason jar, traced some circles, and cut out a bunch of those and painted them white with 2 coats of chalk paint so I could make some little peppermints. Now to do these, I freehanded them with a pencil. I just went around spinning as I went to create this little radial, like spiral look. You can also just print out an image of a peppermint and stick it right on. I've just been challenging myself to paint more because I say I'm not a painter, so I want to try to improve. I filled everything in with a deep red paint. I put those to the side to dry and popped some holes in my little Christmas grams so they were ready to be strung up into a garland. Then I used the same trick as the houses, pushed my dowel needle through the corrugated part of the cardboard, alternated red Christmas grams and white ones, and this is so fun. It looks so good with my Walmart garlands that I've been using to stage for videos, and it's just so quick and easy. And like I said, cardboard is so versatile.
If you are loving these Christmas DIYs, be sure to head down to the comments and leave me a Santa emoji. That way I know that you are loving these projects.
Now this next project you could also use with cardboard, but I decided to use some of this Dollar Tree foam board because I had some left over. I had half of a sheet, so that gives you size reference. And I started by going through and drawing a rough sketch of a big hot cocoa mug. I saw a really cute version of this sign or door hanger on an ad, but it was all cut out in wood and it was pretty expensive, so I thought maybe I could dupe it with some foam board. Once I got the design that I wanted, I used a hobby knife to cut it out. And the best tip I have for this is don't use scissors, use a hobby knife. And then also, you don't have to go exactly around all the edges. You can cut and kind of veer away like I'm doing here, and then go back in for your detailed work. If you've ever seen anybody use a scroll saw, it's a similar idea. I painted the entire bottom a deep red and got all the edges so it didn't look like foam board. I also painted the top whipped cream in white, and then I took my black paint marker to create a black rim to really just separate the whipped cream from the mug. I needed to go back through with a little bit more white because I didn't approximate right, but that's fine. And then I added this really cute decal I got from Design Bundles. I had purchased a package for something else I'm doing for the craft show, and I ended up just wanting to put this on something, so this was the project that got it. I'm applying it with my Expressions vinyl paper transfer tape because if you use any other transfer tape, you're gonna kill that foam board, so just be aware. If you wanna do something, really take the tack off if you don't have that kind of transfer tape. Just word to the wise. Then my last step was to add some details, so I pulled up the image of that ad to see where there was accents for the whipped cream. I added some white and black lines just to kind of really freshen it up and make it not look so blah and really give dimension to the mug. And then I made another messy pile cluster bow, added it to the top corner, and this thing was good to go. Now, if you want to hang it, you can add some hangers to the back. Again, I'm using hot glue because this is not going on my front door, but if you have a front door, do not use the hot glue. I've never put a sign on a front door before because our old house didn't have it, and you guys, I led you astray. So please just know, if you're putting it on your front door, hot glue is not your friend. Maybe the only redo I would do is not make the handle so large, but I love it. I think it has character, and by just looking at it, you would not think it's just a Dollar Tree piece of foam board that I was going to throw away that I saved from the garbage. This last one is inspired by my friend Jennifer over at Little Bit of Calm and Crazy. She made some styrofoam little candies for Christmas in July, and they have been on my to make list ever since. And so when I was whipping these up, I just wanted to share them with you and also give Jennifer a shout out, because if you haven't checked out her channel, you definitely should. All I did was take some Dollar Tree little styrofoam balls, wrapped them in some clearance fabric I found at Hobby Lobby to make them look like vintage little candies, tied the ends with jute twine, but you could use whatever twine you have, and they fit so nicely into these vignettes.
That's going to do it for today's video. As always, head down to the comments and let me know what your favorite project was, and while you're down there, check out more information about Warby Parker. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. There is no obligation to buy, ships free, and includes a free prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/whiskeyandwit. If you end up recreating any of these projects or use my printables, be sure to take a picture and tag me on social media. I love to see what you guys are up to. All of my platforms are linked down below, but I am on pretty much everything under Whiskey and Wit. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!